Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here today, answering your questions. Today's question is on MLB dress code, MLB grooming code. What do you got to do? What do certain teams allow? I've played with a bunch of different teams, and so today we're going to kind of go through what each team allows you to do as far as what to wear, how to cut your hair, how to shave, all that stuff, okay? Because it definitely does differ between teams. Before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Rocket Sports. Rocket makes top quality baseball gear and equipment. We use a bunch of their stuff for our Antonelli baseball team. So definitely go in the description box below, click on the link, and you will get 15% off of your first order at Rocket. Definitely go and check that out. Okay, so let's get into dress code, haircuts, grooming, all this stuff. How does it work at the major league level? And we're going to hit a little bit on the minor league level because obviously I played even longer in the minor league level, a lot longer. And so let's kind of talk about what I saw from team to team, okay? Let's start with my first team, the San Diego Padres, the team that drafted me, the team I made my major league debut with. Now, the Padres, as far as dress code goes, as far as grooming and stuff like that, they were not super strict, but they definitely had some rules, okay? So, first with dress code, in the major leagues, when you traveled, when you were on the road, you had to wear a suit, okay? So, we had to dress up. You had to look presentable, okay? At home, you didn't have to, there was no dress code, right? I guess just don't look like a slob. But on the road, traveling, you had to wear a suit, you had to look good, okay? Or at least decent. When it came to facial hair and all that stuff, you could have facial hair. There was not a shave policy. When it came to hair, there was not really a hair policy at the major leagues. What was that? At the major league level, we had some guys with long hair. We had some guys with some beards. No one really ever said anything, okay? So as long as, I guess we didn't really have anyone that was like completely out of control. I think maybe if it got completely out of control, maybe they'd be like, hey man, you know, trim that up a little bit. But for the most part, there weren't really many rules there. In the minor leagues, they wanted you could have a beard, but it couldn't get too long, right? Mustache was kind of the thing they allowed. No one really wears just mustaches really anymore. I guess some people do. But for your beard, you didn't have to be clean shaven, not like with the Yankees. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you couldn't grow just like a crazy beard. They wanted you to kind of keep it clean. Your hair couldn't be longer than your collar, is what they would tell you. Okay, so I had pretty long hair my first year. But I kept it kind of above the collar, never got below the collar, right? And so you were fine with that. As far as earrings and stuff, at the major league level, and again, I never really paid attention to this because I never had earrings. At the major league level, I think you could wear them, I believe. It's actually, I'm trying to think right now, and I'm trying to think of guys that wore earrings with us, and I can't really remember, but I think you were okay to wear them. In the minor leagues, you couldn't wear earrings, okay? You had to take your earrings. If you had earrings, you had to take them out. Okay, so the Padres, I wouldn't consider them a strict organization. In the minor leagues, they were a little bit more strict. In the major leagues, you know, in most major league teams, most teams just kind of let you do what you want. There's certain teams like the Oakland A's where you can kind of really do whatever the hell you want. You can look like a caveman and they don't care at all. For most of the teams that I was with, that was kind of the way it was. So I was with the Padres first for 5 years, right? That's how it kind of was at the major league level, and then obviously at the minor league level, we talked about it. Went over to the Washington Nationals. At the Nationals, same thing. They were really not very strict. Even in the minor leagues, they were actually probably even less strict than the Padres because when it came to jerseys and stuff, we could wear our pants however we wanted with the Nationals. With the Padres, you had to show blue. We've talked about that before, right? So you couldn't wear your pants over your shoes, which I hated. You always had to show a little bit of blue sock. With the Nationals, they really didn't care. Now, I never played in the major leagues with the Nationals. I wasn't in major league camp, although I played in a decent amount of major league spring training games. And I don't remember there being really very much of anything. They didn't really tell me. I mean, we had who do we have over there? We had Jason Worth, who had like this humongous beard and long hair and all this stuff. So there was really no rules over there. My next team was Baltimore Orioles. Now the Orioles, I was in big league camp with them. And they had probably similar rules to the Padres as far as all that stuff goes in the minor leagues. Again, in the major leagues, I think you just had to kind of be presentable. Again, you didn't have to be clean shaven or anything like that. You just had to kind of keep it, you couldn't look like an absolute bum, okay? And then I went over to the Yankees. And when I went over to the Yankees, that was the first team where at both the minor leagues and the major leagues, you had to be completely clean shaven, right? The only thing you could have is a mustache. Again, no one really just has mustaches, but you had to be clean shaven to the point, I think I've said this before in a video. I got sent over to the Yankees in the middle of the season. I got sent to AAA, okay? And I showed up, and I like to wear, as you can see, if you guys watch the channel, I always have a beard. Like, I never clean shave. I use a trimmer, right? So this is probably right here. I probably shaved like 3-4 days ago. And so even when I shave, if I went up and shave right now, you'd still see a little bit of a beard. I hate the feeling of being clean shaven. I hate it. I've only used a razor a couple times, and one of the few times I used it is when I was with the Yankees. I showed up at the park, and I walked in to say hello and introduce myself to the coaching staff and the manager. And the second I walked in, one of the coaches looked at me and told me to go shave my effing face. And so I didn't even say hello to anyone. He was just like, go shave your effing face. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go shave it. And so I didn't even get to say hello. I turned around. I went into the clubhouse. I went to the bathroom, and there were razors in there. And I was like, shoot, how do I don't even know how to shave. I haven't shaved in like literally I've barely ever shaved with a razor. I think my dad probably showed me one time how to shave with a razor, like when I first finally started growing a beard. But then after that, I just started using the trimmer, and I never used a regular razor. So I'm like in there trying to figure it out. I'm like 20 at that point. I'm like 26 years old or something. I'm like, how do you shave? I have no freaking clue, and I'm cutting myself and everything. Then I went back in and said, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, Matt Antonelli, and all that stuff. So the Yankees were really, really strict with it. You couldn't have hair super long. You couldn't have a beard. You had to be clean shaven. They wanted you to shave every day pretty much, right? So like that was the first time in my life where I had to try to shave every day. And I don't think I actually did try to do it every day. I think I did it every couple of days. But after that first time, I was a little bit nervous to ever have a beard. I didn't want to get yelled at again. Okay? So with them, no earrings and all that stuff. They just want you to look really, really professional. Again, that was in the minor leagues and in the major leagues, right? And I never played in the major leagues with the Yankees. I know that that's how they do it there, okay? And then the last team I was with the Cleveland Indians, and the Indians were more laid back again, too. The Indians were really cool about everything. Again, I wasn't there super long, but there weren't very many rules with the Indians. We had guys that had long hair and had beards and all that stuff, and they seemed fine with all that, okay? So you can see how it kind of differs from team to team, and obviously then you have the Yankees who are kind of over here, and then everyone's kind of else is over here, and you're going to have some teams a little bit more strict than others. But the Yankees were really the only team that I was with, and I tell a lot of people this. When I was with them, even though I was only in AAA with them, it was just, you felt something different when you were with the Yankees. Like, you knew you were with the Yankees. With all the other teams, it all felt kind of the same. But when I got sent over to the Yankees, like, it wasn't just the grooming stuff, but just everything. It was just a different feeling. It's hard to explain almost, where it was like, listen, we're the New York Yankees. We do things differently than everyone else does. And it was kind of a cool thing, actually, even though some of it was kind of a pain in the butt as far as the shaving and all that stuff goes. Overall, I liked it, okay? So that's how dress code and all that stuff works. I guess I didn't really go super into the dress code with those minor league stops. But in the minor leagues, usually, again, at the higher minor leagues, you're almost always going to have to dress nice. You're going to wear a suit on the road. We always had to dress nice at every AAA team I'd ever been with when you're traveling. When you're at home, you don't really have to dress super nice. I know 2 years with the Padres in AAA, at home games, we had to wear a collared shirt. Now, with other teams that I was with, most of them, you could just wear whatever you wanted. But the Padres, we had a manager a couple of years that wanted us always in a collared shirt. When we were on the road, if you were going to go someplace to eat, right, you're at the team hotel, if you were going to leave your room, he wanted you in a collared shirt. So that was a little bit different than a lot of the other teams I was with. But hopefully that all makes sense. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video with all your friends. Give it a thumbs up. All that good stuff. Check the description box below. We got a deal going on Play Crate. We've got a link to our Patreon page where you can help support the channel, a bunch of other stuff. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.